Hello, welcome to the M2PodcastS6E36. I'm your host, Michael, and my co-host right here is KyleHeath. This is the show where we cover gaming industry-related news of the last week. This week, we're going to be talking a little bit about Ubisoft. There's a canceled Assassin's Creed game, kind of due to the political climate in the United States, which is why it was canceled, which is kind of interesting because Ubisoft is an American brand, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Battlefield 6 has physical copies that are actually content complete, so maybe you don't have to actually own any software with it, or what's it called, downloadable games, DLC stuff. Yes, thank you.
They won't update.
There's also a bit of an opinion piece from the Rolling Stones that we wanted to talk about in regards to Call of Duty. Also is Nintendo shared an animated short, and everybody's like, what the heck is this about? So we're going to kind of dive into all of that and more. But before we begin, Kyle, how you doing, dude? How's the last week been for you?
It's pretty good, dude. Can't lie. Pretty nice.
Very nice.
Bye. We start off over the weekend. Not a bad weekend. Pretty good. Not a bad sports weekend. About wanted to end it all, around 1:45 p.m. But, by 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, feeling pretty good. I was like, all right, we out here. So, yeah, feeling pretty good. Smoking that Dolphins pack. You can't really complain too much. So that's a sports side of things. Game side of things. Played a couple new games. Played a little game called Tunic. I'm sure you've seen. I'm sure you've heard of Tunic. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of times. It just came on Game Pass, but it hasn't been out for long. Maybe like a year, right?
I don't know when it came out, to be honest. But I feel like it's been on Game Pass for a while. Anyway.
It has. It's really highly rated. Like I just Googled it, so it came out 22.
Pretty good.
Jeez, that's how time's going by. It won an award for the debut game. It's an indie game, and it got 4.2 stars. So, how you enjoying it, man?
You've played Zelda, right?
Top comment. It literally says, this game is great if you like to explore the world developer created. If you like Zelda Breath of the Wild or any ... So it's like, so it must be very similar to that. So, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very similar to Zelda. A little confined world, different areas, but it's very much a kind of, you go off, not given much guidance, just go figure it out kind of thing. Playing it with a friend, enjoying it. Enjoying it a lot. Gonna be probably diving back into that relatively soon. Played a few hours. Yeah, she was friend I was playing with. She was very much like, "Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, right? Like, I'm not going to give you much guidance unless you like really are really lost. Because that's the whole thing, right? You're supposed to experience the game and figure it out as you go, right? So that's very much what I've been doing. It was nice to find after a while, because there was like at one point where I was like really just, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I was just like stuck. And after a while, with some guidance, I was like, I figured out there was like a area of the map I was able to access. I won't give too much away, people that haven't played it, but there's like an area of the map that I didn't think was accessible originally, but it actually was. So it's kind of cool to like figure that stuff out and whatnot. So a lot of fun playing that. Another game I played, very interesting one, is a game called Roadside Research. This is actually a demo. The full game is supposed to be coming out at some point at the end of this year. But it's an indie dev. It's if you ever played something like Supermarket Simulator, it's kind of like that. You're running like a gas station of sorts, but the twist on it is that each character in the game is an alien, and the whole idea is you're trying to run this and kind of almost disguise yourself in a way. So like you're trying to be one with the humans because you're trying to like document human activity.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about this. Yeah,
and so like you are an alien, and like it's multiplayer too, so you can have like friends and stuff join you. But it's very much like you're just trying to run the store, and then you got like, and there's like things about being an alien. Like at some point, there's points where like you're just like, the best way I could describe it is you just like alien poo on the floor essentially, because it's like green slime that just like spawns from you.
Yeah,
and so you have to clean it up quick, or else like customers start getting suspicious, and like you have to keep your areas and stuff clean, because if you're not, like they just start getting really suspicious. And so and there's like side objectives and stuff, but like ultimately you're just running a store, a gas station. So it was a lot of fun. It was a demo, so it was very condensed, but like the little bit I played with some of my friends, I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I'm gonna be keeping an eye to see if the actual full game launches this year. It seems it's kind of just like there's no definitive date. It's just like Q4 of this year. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, it was enjoyable. It was a nice kind of like twist on the kind of simulator kind of game. Outside of that, I did in fact play Supermarket Simulator a little bit because I enjoyed that so much. It like wanted me to get back into that. Played some of that.
Nice.
Also played my Valorant. Got my weekly Valorant in. I was actually telling you, I think before we recorded, Battle Pass's end date is coming up. I think it's like next Tuesday's last day. I still have like 20 tiers or something to get through. So, got quite a bit of grinding to do. Some weekly challenges to hit. So, if we try to do that to kind of scoot through the rest of the tiers as quickly as I can.
Yeah, you better lock it in now before it all disappears.
I need to, man. Need to. It's a lot of grinding. I want to get everything. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think when I got the pass, I want to say it was like 36, 37 days left or something like that. So I bought it with like a month left, and here we are. Still not complete.
So quick.
So,
yeah.
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 One of those things you kind of have to buy to, like for me, I feel like if I want to make sure I complete these, I'd have to get it like start of the cycle and make sure, they'd probably give me enough time then. But yeah, so.
It's where you have plenty of time to just knock it all out. I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. I think gaming wise, it was all I played. I don't think I played anything else. So that was my week. Can't complain too much. Still a little bit of a busy week for me, but trying to find time. I know you had a busy weekend, Mike, and we're having a busy week. So
yeah. So what did I play? I guess the first thing to get out of the way is I went to HCS Charlotte. Got to play a little bit of like Halo Infinite on LAN, which was a battle. Played some Halo CE on LAN with a couple of my buddies that came into town. They competed for the Halo 2 tournament, which was pretty interesting. They had a lot of fun. Ended up winning, so everything was worth it for them. They got all their money's worth in terms of like showing up and the cost. The payout was enough for them to like afford hotel and like coming in and also just winning because that's kind of fun. They reduced the overall expense. So that was a good time. Got to watch most of the tournament. I participated in Prize Picks, which is a way to basically esports bet, and you take like higher lowers of two different players. So I did that for the grand finals. I didn't do it totally, but it was loads of fun. It was so much fun, man. I had a great time with that. And outside of that, man, it's like I've been playing Halo 2 still. I played a little bit of Cartographer. I almost got an OG last night. There was a lobby, and all I had to do is just hit like, they have bots in Discord now, which is really, really cool. You can they set you rankings. There's not that big of a base that actually plays, right? So they give you an assignment for MMR, and then you can like join a queue, and then AI bot will tell you which teams are the most balanced, and then you play, and then if you win, you can report on it. The winner, you report on the MVP, your ranking goes up, or if you lose, your ranking goes down. It's pretty cool. They have like a little leaderboard. It's just something to get people to play for and actually like try to have fun. There's a huge hassle doing that though, and totally was going to wear me out. The other ones that I played was Rocket League. I've been going back to that plenty of times. Totally fun, man. So much fun. Had a great time on that. And not Battlefield. Battlefield comes out on Friday. So by the time anybody hears this, Battlefield's already out. Hopefully it's good. But Black Ops 7 is in beta, and it actually got extended an extra day, which is awesome because it gives me more time to actually play it. I am getting my butt kicked bad. Like I'm playing with my boys that have been playing like nonstop Battlefield or Black Ops. They played Black Ops 6 all the way through. They played Modern Warfare 2 all the way through, and they've been sticking with it while they've been playing Halo. So they're like iridescent, crimson level. They're like pretty good. So their MMR's so high, and I'm like joining in these lobbies, fresh account, fresh guns, just getting smoked. And everybody already knows the map. They've been playing like 20 plus hours, and I'm like, holy smokes, this is a freaking beta, and you guys have 20 hours in it, and I'm getting destroyed because of it. But it's honestly, it's fun. Um, I'm most excited about how I was able to optimize my PC. So now I'm able to play at like pretty good quality and pretty good like resolution. Uh, I can use my RTX voice now without like everything bugging out and turn me robotic. So the step up for me personally in gaming right now is much better. Overall better experience. I'm absolutely addicted to it. So yeah.
Let's go.
So anyways, I'm looking forward to see what actually happens with Black Ops. And I don't think it's going to be as good as Battlefield, but I think it's going to be a better competitive game.
Yep.
Also, there's a couple of Halo Infinite is coming to an end at the end of the month, October 24th, I think. Let me see the date real quick. Is it quick? Yeah, it's quick for me to pull up. So they're doing finals. They're doing HCS Worlds. Okay, my thing isn't pulling up. It's being laggy. As I just compliment my computer for actually working. Yeah, so it's gonna work, and they're gonna announce likely a Halo CE remake. I'm not too excited about it. We've already seen one that's like updated graphics. I don't care. What I am excited for is Unreal Engine being used because that means they'll be able to hire people without having to train them as much. If you're a computer programmer or developer, you probably use Unreal Engine or you have in the past or you're familiar with it, which is a huge stepping stone compared to the 2001 Blam engine that was originally made for like an Apple product that got ported to PlayStation to Microsoft PC, and then that got ported to an Xbox, and then back to PC. So it's turning around. I think we'll see what happens with Halo. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, man. I'm mostly excited to just kind of dive into the world of Assassin's Creed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with Battlefield 6. I really want to know if that's going to be a good game or not.
Yeah. Yeah, before we even get into that, I know the only thing Black Ops really that like kind of got me that perked up my ears was the fact that they did like a open playlist that where they essentially reduced the SB events
Yeah,
significantly.
yeah.
So apparently it's
Well,
like a
they turned
different
off
experience.
skill-based
So
matchmaking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see if that actually has an impact on people's experience, especially playing that game. So we will, in fact, see. But you know what you should see right now? We should look at the first article from Andy Chalk over at PC Gamer. And Ubisoft reportedly canceled an Assassin's Creed game set around the American Civil War because of Sasuke. Yeah, Sasuke, the character from this is a character from the last Assassin's Creed game. After that backlash and political turmoil in the U.S., the game was meant to take place primarily during the Reconstruction era and would have featured a black assassin confronting the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. Let's get into this. What we got, Andy Chalk? A new game file report claims that Ubisoft canceled an Assassin's Creed game that would have been set in the U.S. Civil War and the Reconstruction, a period that followed. According to GameFile's sources, the decision to cancel the game was made in 2024, in part because of the backlash against the reveal of Black Samurai Sasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows, but more pressingly over concerns about the current political climate in the U.S. GameFile says it interviewed 5 current and former Ubisoft employees who spoke about the project and its cancellation, under the condition of anonymity. The game was apparently going to tell the story of a formerly enslaved black man who, after moving west to start a new life, is recruited by the Assassin Brotherhood. Following that, he would return to the U.S. South, coming into conflict with groups including the emerging Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist hate group that continues to operate today. The game was in the concept phase and years away from release when the cancellation occurred, but work was reportedly underway. Interesting stuff. To go on, GameFile sources, all either current or former employees of Ubisoft said developers were enthusiastic about the game, which some felt had the potential to make a positive social impact. But despite initially being approved by Ubisoft leadership, it was eventually decided that the subject matter was too controversial, especially now, as the Trump administration makes moves to walk back civil rights legislation and restore honors and memorials of the Confederacy, which fought to maintain slavery during the American Civil War. One source said it was too political in the country, too unstable to make it short. End quotes. While some of the game was meant to take place during the Civil War itself, The bulk of it would have been set during the Reconstruction era, decade plus that immediately followed. While Reconstruction was intended to address matters like granting citizenship to former slaves and reintegrating former Confederate states into the restored United States, the process faced furious and often violent resistance from whites in the South, which ultimately undermined it. Reconstruction was formally ended in 1877, leading to the resurgence of white supremacy and violent repression and disenfranchisement of blacks in the American South. It is, in other words, the intensely fraught topic in the U.S., a point driven home by the reaction to Sasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was ugly, to put it mildly. The reaction also exposed the soft underbelly of Ubisoft's leadership. In response to noise from the worst corners of gamerdom, CEO Yves Guillemot said in September 2024 that our goal is not to push any specific agenda, and that its intent is simply to make, quote, games for fans and players that everyone can enjoy. Ironically, the people who actually made those games seem less reticent about standing up for themselves and their work, but they're not the only, they are not the ones who make the final decision about what does and does not get made. Ubisoft's self-professed apolitical bent goes back from much further than Assassin's Creed Shadows. Despite making games that look from a distance like they might have something to say, Far Cry 5 leaps immediately to mind, but it's far from alone. Ubisoft has reportedly insisted that in the past that it does not make political video games, but there are limits to how long you can maintain that no political facade, and making a game about a black assassin during Reconstruction would unavoidably be way beyond them. A little bit left, Mike, but how are we feeling?
I don't like it, man. I really want to play an American Civil War game, and I understand that, like, I understand why people don't. Dude, this country's so trash. At least when it comes to like teaching history, right? Because there's documented evidence. Like the American Civil War is highly documented. Yes, the entire country fell apart. It was a really, really dark period. However, both sides thought they were going to win. So everything was documented really, really well. It's one of the reasons why people, like when it comes to other wars like World War II, very recent war, if you think about it in the context of like history, there's a lot of information that we know about that happened in Europe because the Germans, the Italians, the French, the English in particular, they were really, really well at documenting everything that happened. It was also on television, like, well, not television, it was recorded still, it was on radio. But we know a lot of things that happened there. We don't really know too much about what happened in like Asia. We don't really know too much about what happened in Eastern Europe with Russia because those governments were a little bit more scattered and it was way more chaos. There was a lot of things that were going on that I want to get into. But like with the American Civil War, yeah, it was like forever ago, but it was still documented. Like there was letters constantly, there was archives. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to take reference of that historical information to be accurate. It's one of the reasons why I absolutely love Assassin's Creed games because a lot of them are based in reality and they take inspiration from things that actually happened. And the American Civil War is something that you could absolutely talk about. It would have been amazing. But the fact that they're like, oh, we just don't feel like it's a great time. It's like, why, dude? Like, honestly, why?
Yeah.
Let's just get into it. It's a contentious topic. It's not really talked about why it happened exactly. It's a very, very dark time. But I don't know. How do you feel?
I mean, I think I agree with that sentiment. I think if you sit there and wait for quote unquote the right time, like there may not never be a right time in a lot of people's eyes. But I think also to your point, I mean, you can't really hide from history. And I think like when you make a decision like this, it's kind of like, okay, like we can't just brush it under the rug like it didn't happen. And there's a story clearly here to tell, I think. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I'm kind of with you, I think. I mean, I think you should just go for it. As long as you maintain historical accuracy, then
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see the
for sure.
issue, you know?
Well, you know what's kind of interesting? Um, they could do two different styles. You know, what'd be actually genius is if I'm brainstorming here, okay? just spitballing. Halo 2 had one of the coolest things where you could play as the Master Chief like you were in Halo 1, but you could also play as the Arbiter. And the Arbiter was supposed to be a fallen hero that's led to like slaughter in the Covenant, which is like the religious sect. And they have opposing values. And it could have been very, very cool to see just like how they were against each other and they're trying to like kill each other and fight each other. If they did something with that, like a video game for the Civil War, where you have entire nations that are together and then they split over fundamental issues of the way they operate and like their belief system, and then they fight for a long time, and then at the end they reconcile, make peace, and then reconstruct. Like that would be such a cool story because if you ever watched like or read the book All Quiet on the Western Front,
I
that
think
is
I've
from
heard
the
of that. I
German
haven't read it.
perspective. Yeah, it's from the German perspective in World War One. It's very, very
Mm.
dark times, and the Germans were viewed as like the aggressors. They were like the villains in the
Right.
Western, like historical Union-based stuff, right? You could have that kind of thing going with like the Confederacy and the Unions. It would have been. There's so much potential, is what I'm saying, but you got to do it right. And the
Yeah.
fact that they bailed out makes me think that they just had no faith.
Yeah.
They had no faith in what they were doing. They weren't going to stand by it. And I like how Andy Chalk is basically saying that. It's like, ironically, the people who actually make those games seem less reticent about standing up for themselves and their work. I totally
Yeah.
get where he's coming from. And it's kind of a shame because I don't think we've ever. Have we had a Civil War video game? I know there's some like indie mods where you can play. It's mostly a military sim game. It's not a Civil
Yeah.
War game.
I mean, I think of like Hold Fast, but that's not really a story game. That's just kind of like set in those periods.
I think
where it's like,
isn't that a that's the sim game, right?
I think it is kind of like a sim game of sorts where you play different time periods. And one of them is like kind of, I think, that Civil War period. I mean, there's one that was like you're playing as
Oh,
like
yes.
the redcoats and stuff like that. Like,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The military sim game where you get to play as like Civil War generals. You can play as the French
yeah,
during the Napoleon era, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nations at war. Yeah.
it's a fun game.
But I don't think there's been an American Civil War
Not a
video
game I think it's told the story like that. Or at least attempted to tell the story. I think
can't
from a
think of
historical standpoint, you can make it interesting. And I mean, and,
100%.
and I think there's stuff. I mean, like, and that's the thing is like if they try to hide away from like the realities of what it was then, you just make a bad game.
Oh, dude.
Like it's just not going to be good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
That might be why they backtracked because Ubisoft isn't really. The American Civil War was really, really bad. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you read into it, it's pretty bad. So if you do justice, you have to go all the way. I don't know if that's their type of like genre. Maybe it's too precise. It would only work for like the American audience, and they're an international brand, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like the reason why a game, and we talked about it before, a game like Silent Hill 2, why the game is so good. It's because it touches on topics that aren't often covered or aren't often talked about in a way that's like very real and just raw. So I think like we just don't have any games like that because I think a lot of people are just especially these bigger companies are just scared to go for that kind of stuff, and for like the sake of potentially being controversial, even though it's like these are very real things that happened and happen on a daily basis. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but it seems to me like if they canceled it, they probably were heading in the wrong direction. So it's just take it for what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit left.
Go ahead.
This article, a little bit left. So I'll get to these last little bits. So the cancellation happened amidst a very rough period for Ubisoft, which was struggling with delays, underperforming games, and a sagging share price. As PC Gamer's Fraser Brown put it, 2024 was an absolute diarrhea for the company. One source told GameFile that Ubisoft's finances had an impact on the decision to cancel the project as well. Ubisoft is naturally more risk averse than it might have been 5 or 6 years ago when it was still riding high. Does that mean we might see this game resurrected at some point in the future? Anything is possible, but given how things are going on right now in the US, frankly, some of the reactions to the GameFile report I've seen on social media, Andy Chalk says, I wouldn't bet on it. That's what Andy Chalk kind of has to say at the end there.
Sad but true. I just think it's so sad because you and I have been talking about how Ubisoft has kind of fallen off for a while now, and that could have been an opportunity for them to create something new, and they just backtracked on it.
I mean, yeah, it's an opportunity for them to do something bold, right? Like, making a game like that, kind of going in that
Yeah.
sort of historical period in the U.S. I mean, especially if they did it right, like that could be like whoa, this is a bold move by Ubisoft and they executed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that
They're like,
could have
maybe
really,
they're back.
yeah, could have done something. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, like you said, there was a lot of, like you said, it's a bad time. There's a lot of kind of darkness and a lot of topics that people don't often like to discuss. I'm sure, but I think you
Yeah.
portrayed the reality in kind of a interesting, nuanced way. I think you can do it well. So
Yeah. That's
it's
basically what I
unfortunate,
was
man.
saying.
It's unfortunate. Shit.
Who knows? We'll have to see how Ubisoft develops, especially after the controversies that we covered a couple episodes ago. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We could talk about a good
All
game
right.
coming out though.
Heck yeah, let's talk about some highly anticipated games. Yeah, this one's coming from Eurogamer. If I can find the person who wrote it, Connor McCarr, staff writer over at Eurogamer.net. By the way, we have all the descriptions, all the links in the description below, so you can check that out. I'm very excited to talk about a Battlefield game, and I've been watching loads of videos about it. It looks very, very anticipating. But here's some more news. Anyways, Battlefield 6 physical copies are content complete and require no initial install, according to early copy holders. It is filed away. So, that is the title of this article. Let's get into it. Physical copies of Battlefield 6 are in people's hands early, ahead of the official launch date of October 10th. As such, it's been revealed the physical PS5 version of the game is entirely contained on the disc itself. No download required. This was stated by Reddit user Grekia Vlad, who posted their early copy of Battlefield 6 online and answered a few questions from the community. They confirmed that no download was required to boot up Battlefield 6 days ahead of the launch. This makes sorry, it's telling me this up. This makes Battlefield 6 a bit of an irregularity. Other large AAA games have required additional content downloads once a disc is inserted due to the hefty file size of these games. It's also so these games can load faster, as it's faster for a console to load files from the internal storage than from the inserted disk, which is a fact. By the way, most of these internal consoles or these consoles with internal storages are SSD now, which is kind of cool. Um, what this means for Battlefield 6 players who buy a physical copy is you'll simply be able to slap your physical copy and get straight to playing, which is a bit of a rarity these days. Totally agree. Other info was revealed about the game, courtesy of Gracias, who knows how they pronounce it. It's on Reddit. Early copy, including the online servers being up and running already. I'm sure they're just reusing existing EA servers. Apparently, there are even a few people already online and playing, which is fun. EA and Battlefield Studios recently revealed the post launch content plan for Battlefield 6, which will start coming to the game on October 28th. New modes, new maps, weapons, and more will be added to the game entirely for free. Looks like to me that Battlefield, EA, DICE, I mean, other than them getting bought out, they are making some very turning point kind of decisions because Battlefield 2042 was pretty good, pretty decent when it finally got fixed, but it took a little less than a year, probably like 6 or 7 months after the game actually launched to be playable. And the player base just didn't come back. So the fact that they realize in this market, Battlefield 6, if you're paying full price for a game, $70, you can't be messing up on launch. You just can't. And the fact that they're giving out games, the DLC, for free, dude, we're so back. We're back to the early 2000s.
So back.
Free DLC for the game you purchased. Let's go.
Oh man, makes you think of COD and how Black Ops 1 and all that was all paid DLC. But it was good DLC. so
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, man.
Map was good. Content was good. I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I mean, I think it's very interesting the fact that everything fits on the disc. It's definitely impressive in this day and age. You fit everything on the disc. I mean, to the point, I think it makes sense why you're downloading files day one, especially on the internal drive, and definitely runs faster if you just boot it up off the drive instead of the disc. I mean, I remember in 360 days, whenever I found out I could literally just take the COD games, like Modern Warfare 2, whatever. I could just like load it onto my internal drive, and then I could just load based off that. Xbox ran quieter. It was nicer. Like it was a lot better, right?
Good times.
So, yeah. But once you found out you could do that, it was kind of over. But yeah, man, it was. I don't know. It's interesting to see Battlefield 6 do this. I mean, I think that there's a lot of hype around this game, rightfully so. I mean, beta did really well, so I think there's a lot of people that want this game back in a big way. So I think anything EA is doing to try to get an edge, whether that's free DLC, kind of, making it content complete, which is always good to hear. And just the fact that servers are up and people are already playing, I think it's interesting. I'll be curious to see how it does day one. Do servers get overloaded? Are they prepared for that? Seemingly nobody's ever prepared whenever day one
That's
hits
true.
and the servers are loaded. So it'll be impressive if there's no delays or anything on day one. So
Well, I think they're going to be prepared because the beta showed how much interest there is, and I don't remember there being any big issues with the servers during the beta. There were like 200,000 people playing. That's a big deal for a
oh yeah,
beta, and no lag issues. So there's probably going to be a couple million that are going to be playing on day one, maybe more. That's my prediction. The price of the game is probably going to keep some people holding off for a while, at least until the holidays.
yeah,
Hopefully, they can get some sales going on. I don't doubt the servers can handle it. I'm just mostly worried that um, cheating. I really don't want to see cheating in this game. That would have me scared more than
yeah.
anything, because Battlefield can tank pretty easily if there's unbridled like cheaters everywhere.
Yeah. I've been thinking about like cheating. It's honestly a question I thought about. I feel like I know the answer. But like if a game goes free to play, you think that makes it very I was just say what's the opposite of cheat averse? It's very like it's easier to cheat,
Encouraged.
right? Like and I guess
I
is
I
that
think
true?
it's
Like is that a thing?
I no. So I think people who cheat are limited. I think that if more people are cheating, then it encourages other people to cheat because you'll have instances where people feel as though it's like, well, everybody else is cheating, I might as well. Like that kind of excuse mentality.
Hmm.
I don't think it's right. I just think that's kind of like human nature. You know what I mean? So I know with free to play games, people have multiple accounts. So if one account gets banned, they go to the other one,
Yeah.
or they'll rank up one account and then switch over and go to the other one, and then they'll keep cheating. And they're mostly anonymous, so it's less personal to them when they get banned. Well, not less anonymous; they're more anonymous. So I think it's more about the perception, like human psychology, more so than it's about the game being free. I think like one cheater can get banned on one account, and you'll remember them, and you'll ban them on your system, and then you'll go keep playing, and they'll show up on another alt and then cheat you again. It's like that can happen, and but like your perspective is cheaters are everywhere, right? Because it's a free to play game. It's like maybe
Yeah.
not. If you don't have an anti cheat, you're totally going to get cooked, though.
Yeah. Well, even
That's
if
the
you do have
biggest
an
issue.
anti cheat, like what are we talking
Yeah,
about, man?
secure boot now. Apparently, that's what we need to
He's
do.
going at every level. It
Jeez.
still does nothing. I don't know.
Not,
It's crazy, man.
yeah,
There's
secure
backdoors
boot's
for
so
everything, right?
silly, man.
It's backdoors for everything.
Yep,
Just how it is. Um,
it's always a workaround.
yeah, always. But I don't know. I'm excited to see how Battlefield 6 performs, especially week one, especially after the beta performance and everything. I'm excited to see if they do enough right to start winning people over. And hey, man, God's kind of responding. People are saying Call of Duty with Black Ops 7 are releasing this SBMM reduced playlist and all that. Like, it's there's a lot of people saying, like, pointing out, hey, competition's a good thing. See Battlefield 6 coming
Yeah,
up. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I think it makes the most sense for them to just give us all the options possible, and then naturally they should start taking away from like the playlist as the player pool continues to go down.
yeah,
Like do an on demand thing. Everybody's gonna be on their day one, so have everything available. And then as the player pool starts going less and less, then you start taking things away. It doesn't make sense to like rotate, you know? I don't
yeah.
know, that's my take.
Could be. Could be. Did you talk about Call of Duty?
All right, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Talk
I
about
got an opinion piece here, or at least I'm pretty sure it's been an opinion piece.
it. Hopefully,
Christopher
it's actually good.
Cruz.
Let's go.
Christopher Cruz at Rolling Stone Gaming. That's right, Rolling Stone has a gaming sector. They were talking about it's time for Call of Duty to take a break. This will be interesting. I feel like I've had this kind of sentiment in the back of my mind for a while. So, after a knockout entry in 2024, Black Ops 7 shows that Activision's maximalist, never-ending release cycle has diminishing returns. Join the club, you know what I'm saying? Been saying it for years. I've been saying it for years. Like death and taxes, Mike, Call of Duty is inescapable. For over 20 years, Activision's military shooter has been an annual staple, arriving each fall just in time to make a bank amid the holiday rush. With that level of ubiquity also comes malice or malaise. I don't know. And nowadays, it's newsworthy just to hear that the series is doing something vaguely interesting, if not necessarily good, rather than just more of the same. Last year's edition, Black Ops 6, was one such entry that managed to shake things up enough to stand out. After an extended run of mediocre at best and at worst totally anemic releases, 2024's Call of Duty felt like a breath of fresh air, if only by default. With a single-player campaign set in the 90s, the game's story had a deliriously fun espionage hook that harkened back to the series' heyday, the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and early Black Ops titles. Competitive multiplayer updates were strong too, with a slew of well-designed maps and the return to the classic prestige system that had fallen to the wayside in recent years. The biggest innovation was the new Omni movement mechanic that, while not earth-shattering, genuinely made the controls feel different and more immersive. Hell, even the side piece Zombies mode felt meaty enough to be its own meal. I think I did play that mode. I think it was this game I played the Zombies. I was like, oh, it's kind of nice. It's fun, round-based. Nice. But good times can only last so long. The gods of quarterly fiscal reporting must be satiated. And so we're back to another go-around. Out with the old and in with the new. It's once again time for another hard reset on what gamers mean when they casually say they're playing Call of Duty. This year, it's Black Ops 7, which breaks the series' habit of alternating between different sub-series between each entry. Previously, you get Modern Warfare, then Black Ops, etc. But for the first time since the early days, we're getting a direct numbered follow-up in the subtitle. Based on the Rolling Stones' time with the game, which is currently unavailable to public and open beta, it feels like the franchise could have taken a breather. A gluttonous gameplay buffet, Section 1. Like last year's Black Ops 6, the newest iteration isn't lacking for content. As detailed in the game's big reveal, Black Ops 7 will once again be bursting at the seams with gameplay modes, somehow even more than before. There's a robust story campaign, which follows the events of 2012's Black Ops 2, which will be fully playable cooperatively with friends. There's even an in-game experience, which opens up a 32-player mode set within a unique map after completing the story, which doesn't even count towards the game's actual competitive multiplayer mode. I thought that was interesting. They did like an in-game thing. They were talking about that. It's like, okay, how's that going to work for COD? It's got me curious. As of yet, the campaign hasn't been available to try as part of the beta, but the narrative's near future setting of 2035 also informs the core multiplayer experience, swapping out the low-tech weaponry and visual design of the 90s set Black Ops 6 with pseudo sci-fi gadgets and gear. At launch, there will be 18 maps to compete on and 30 weapons to unlock. Dozens of customization options allowing users to fine-tune their guns' scopes, grips, barrels, and more. Just about everything can be tweaked, even down to the grenades and non-lethal gear, creating an endless stream of upgrades and rewards that can be obtained through busy work. For diehards, there's an extremely dense list of camo skins to unlock for each weapon to show off just how much Call of Duty you play, if you're into that sort of thing. See, this is also another reason why I wanted to read this article too, because I feel like it'll be a somewhat deep dive into kind of what the new COD is, because I feel like there's a lot I still don't understand, so I'm glad of reading this. Then there's a Zombies mode, now called Ashes of the Damned, which has been touted as having the biggest round-based survival map ever for the side portion of the series. For those familiar with the previous lore of Black Ops 2 and 6's Zombies campaign, The whole thing is now supposed to be a generational mashup of different characters from across the timeline, and features tons of new and returning items with nonsense names like Perca-Colas and Gobblegums. Let's go, zombies. Let's go. Black Ops 7
Are you big into zombies?
So what?
Are you big into zombies?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite modes in COD, honestly. Played a lot of it in, Black Ops 1 days, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. I want to say 4 had like a decent zombies too. It's kind of like all the Black Ops probably had the better zombies in my opinion, compared to other series. So even it may have been Black Ops 6, or maybe the COD before that, when it had like kind of a zombies mode that was almost like open world like. I thought that was kind of fun. I played a lot of that. So done it right. Black Ops 7 will also bring updates to Call of Duty's most popular offering, the free-to-play Battle Royale Warzone, in the forms of an all-new map called Havens Hollow. With everything else to try, we barely even scratched the surface on that. Warzone, baby. Warzone.
Oh, Warzone.
Suffice to say, Black Ops 7 has a lot going on. It's once again 3 or more games in one, explicitly designed to be the only thing its creators want you to play for the next calendar year. Until the next one, that is. But is it worth that investment? Or does it mean better? Like, doesn't. Or
I don't know,
does it mean
man.
better?
I don't freaking know.
In some context, maybe. But in
Yeah.
Call of Duty, maybe not. Look, you already know if you like Call of Duty. No new version of the game is going to suddenly awaken a rabid passion for the franchise in a non-believer. For some, Black Ops 6 might have come close. Its new control scheme and emphasis on quality modes substantially improved the game in ways that attracted lapsed players back into the fold. At a high level, Black Ops 7 seems content to mostly coast on the good will garnered from last year's successes, but that doesn't mean it's just more of the same. The biggest changes to the Black Ops formula come twofold: high-tech futuristic weaponry and a new wall jumping mechanic that lets players literally bounce off walls like coked up jackrabbits. Yes. Although both could be compelling novelties, neither improves the game. In fact, they actually detract from it. Okay, Christopher, okay, we're not liking the movement.
Okay.
Like, I've seen some people go bananas on this movement. Just, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
sent you one where
you even linked the Reddit post.
Neptune acting insane.
It's going crazy with the movement. Some people loving it. It's very polarizing. I feel like some people are like really loving it. Some people are like, nah, this ain't COD. What is this? It's crazy. No one has ever accused Call of Duty of being subtle, but this year's big additions are borderline gratuitous. While Black Ops 6 toyed with a more grounded, back-to-the-basics approach of UAVs, airstrikes, and attack choppers as score streak rewards for tallying enough points or kills, the speculative fiction framework of Black Ops 7 means everything requires a heightened tone. Battlefield is now filled with ludicrous like two-wheeled RC bots, like two-wheeled RC bots, quadrupled robots called dogs, pocket-sized aerial drones, and full-on automated mechs. In a game as frenetic as Call of Duty, where lizard-brained reaction time and twitchy gunplay are king, constant onslaught of tech from all sides feels like a lot to manage. I mean, the biggest streak that got the most Twitter posts, I feel like, was like, it was essentially like Sovazol from Valorant. You had a sniper and you could shoot through walls and like you saw where people were, and it was like this crazy streak. Some people were like, yeah, dude, this is way too broken. What are they doing? Others were like, hey, man, just get better and don't let them get it. So it's like
exactly
too good to take. It's like, you take either side, I guess. It's a common occurrence to break concentration on what's going on with the human element of a match to chase down buzzing drones, or have to constantly listen to a high-pitched motors of wheeled assault toys to avoid being killed half a dozen times over. While the glint of a sniper scope still spells death, now players can use high-powered rifles on thermal targets through walls halfway across the map. Anyone can be a hologram too, or, flat out invisible. There's that streak we were talking about. It's not the first Call of Duty that has gone a full science fiction. And to be fair, it's not really that. Spend enough time going down a YouTube rabbit hole of paramilitary advancements, and you'll find that all of this is real or soon will be in some form or another. It's just that it feels so far removed from what made Black Ops 6 work. coincidentally timed to release just a month after EA's Battlefield 6, a game much more committed to realism than even the most straightforward Call of Duty entry. Black Ops 7 is giving cartoon energy. Which, like, hearing that, it's like, after hearing all the skins and stuff and how the Black Ops 6 was so far removed with all the packs and stuff, it's like kind of weird to hear, It's crazy.
I mean, it's totally fair. Everything that they're talking about right now is basically what it is in the beta currently.
Yeah.
I've only been playing like the competitive stuff, unfortunately. So a lot of the nuance isn't really I can't attest to, but everything else, it's like, yeah, they're pretty much locked in. Like the camo, the little bit of cartoon energy, but also just like super fun. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. The wall jumping is emblematic of the issue. Bunny hopping is nothing new for first-person shooters. Spamming the jump button to confuse foes is a decades-old tactic. But now players are bouncing parkour style horizontally down corridors and scaling multiple stories for a close-range shotgun blast at whim. The games have always been fast and loose with physics, and the Omni movement system only inspired or exacerbated. That's the word, exacerbated. Only exacerbated it by giving everyone the Matrix-style power to shoot backward while careening down a flight of stairs. But what until recently felt dumb, like dumb fun, now just feels dumb. It's true, man. It's too crazy. Careening downstairs, making this movement, it's crazy. Crazy. A flavorless dish. That's the next session. At its core,
what a section, dude.
Titles. At its core, Black Ops 7 still plays like Call of Duty. Anyone who stayed with the series or even just dipped in and out can still read the terrain. The gunplay is still tight and responsive, and the level design remains easy enough to glean and strategize around. All the modes, from Team Deathmatch and Hardpoint to the Capture the Flag-based Overload, are familiar and quick to comprehend. They're just not that enthralling. A lot of it boils down to the game's new aesthetic. Whereas Black Ops 6 relished in the texture of its period setting, giving players maps ranging from a warlord's villa filled with luxury cars and dilapidated bus depots overgrown with foliage, Black Ops 7 has a superficial glossiness to each of its levels. While locations like a solar panel farm in the Australian outback fit the bill for near-future ground war, the result mostly feels sterile, amounting to a bunch of empty pathways bathed in stark daylight. One map, called Forge, is a research facility, whose most interesting feature is a rotating carousel in its center that creates and removes cover on loop. One of the more ambitious levels is Imprint, a snowy complex that feels ripped from Inception, with an angled elevator lift and its heart that shifts laterally between planes. Okay, very Inception inspired over here. Okay. While all these
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fair. It's still fair. While all are serviceable enough to compete in, none of them stand out as anything special. In basic multiplayer fashion, they are bottleneck spaces for ambushes, and everything loops together just fine for flanking. But overall, they're among the least inspired map designs the series has seen in a while. With what little flourishes exist, mostly amount to flavorless fondant rather than actual icing on the cake. There's also the issue of many insta-death areas that require wall jumping to traverse. Levels like the oil rig of Blackheart are just a circle, but one route around must be jumped across like a trampoline park. That's the extent of creativity for many. The half-minded designs extends to the zombie maps as well, which mostly consists of a bunch of little claustrophobic mini regions to survive in for a few rounds before moving on to the next location using an armored truck. Black Ops 6 features some of the most thoroughly well-crafted expanses to battle the undead hordes. Here, each feel underbaked as a series of pit stops in a large connected world of nothingness. Even the truck driving sections lack impact, despite the ability to literally run over waves of zombies with a crunch. They're just short interludes that give the appearance of a branching path journey, basically playable load screens where you can end up dying. Oof.
Oof.
I think it's the last paragraph. So, although the full
Yeah.
release will add even more content to indulge in, on top of a slow drip of seasonal updates to come, what's been shown so far of Black Ops 7 indicates that fans are facing another downbeat era for the franchise. After bringing their A game with Black Ops 6, developers at Treyarch and Raven Software seem to be checking off the boxes to adhere to their corporate mandate of never letting any single entry live longer than 12 months. Maybe it's time for Call of Duty to take a year off and catch some skip.
Yeah.
Catch some kip.
I kind of get it. I see what he's saying. I don't necessarily agree with it. I kind of wish that um, Call of Duty took a break for another year because Black Ops 6 like literally just came out. Not literally, but
Quite
it's
literally.
been out for a while, and I'm kind of annoyed that the next one came out. It's really surprising to me that Black Ops 7's out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it comes out in November, but I don't know. How do you feel? Because it's not even. It's literally not even been a year since Black Ops 6 came out,
Yeah, it's
and the beta for the sequel is right now.
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to enjoy COD these days. And I mean, I think part of that is probably the yearly cycle and kind of how it's just really the same thing. I mean, Black Ops 6,
The cash grab every time.
yeah, I mean, I think Black Ops 6, to Christopher's point, I think definitely was like kind of a breath of fresh air. It was kind of just like, it was different. It wasn't like, it didn't seem like, the typical just kind of like turn over a little game in the next cycle. So I think, I mean, to go to Black Ops 7, from Christopher's standpoint, just doesn't seem to hit the mark. It's unfortunate to hear. So, I mean, I'll be curious from a competitive standpoint how this game does. Like I said, the movement seems very polarizing. It's like some people love it, some people hate it. See kind of how it makes the game play competitively. I think that'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, everything else kind of just seems like same old, same old. According to Christopher. So, we'll see. I'll be curious for the reviews, but I don't know. It's not a good start, I think.
No, I think it's pretty frustrating, to be honest. Yeah. I think Black Ops 7 is probably going to be a hit. It's really fun to play, but it's also really frustrating. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be releasing anything that's going to be monumental to keep people around for another year. I honestly want to see the next Modern Warfare series.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I prefer that version of Warzone more than the Black Ops version. We'll see. The thing that kind of ruffles my feathers is that Call of Duty seemed to have a majority share of the casual shooting fan base, whereas that was predominantly like split between Gears of War, Halo. What other console shooters were there? Apex Legends now, which is kind of nice that they have, but that's not exactly arena shooter. In terms of arena shooters, there's not really any left anymore. It's kind of like a monopoly. You really only have Call of Duty to choose from,
Yeah.
and that's such a bummer because I feel like there should be more options. But hopefully someday we'll get something a little bit different and kind of appease Christopher Cruz over here at Rolling Stones. But I totally get where he's coming from. It's a good opinion piece. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a nice breakdown. I think it's really well worded. Well worded.
Yes.
Tell he's a writer. He's an author of sorts. So
Oh yeah, dude, it's the Stones, man. It's the Rolling Stones,
yeah, no,
and
really
they can
good.
do something right by it.
Really good stuff, dude.
Yes, sir. All right, last freaking article. It's a quickie, so we'll get to this. It's about Nintendo. Josh Colson published it this week. It is from thegamer.com, which I think it might be the first time we've ever covered their publication. Could be a nice little change of pace. I wonder what they're talking about. Nintendo just shared an animated short about sentient pacifier, and no one knows why. Interesting. By the way, if I'm lagging, let me know because Discord, which is how we record and talk, it's been spiking randomly. So just let me know if I got to repeat myself.
Hey, there.
Yeah, just let me know and I'll repeat myself. Anyways, Nintendo has a reputation for being pretty quirky and making out of the box decisions that might not make sense right away. However, the animated short it just dropped out of nowhere on social media is a new level of odd even for Nintendo. Seemingly titled Close to You, the animation, which lasts almost 4 minutes, centers around an unnamed baby who is briefly left alone in their bedroom by their mom while their mom is out of town or out of the room. The baby's pacifier comes to life and proceeds to try and escape from the baby. Although it's unclear if it's trying to get away or if it's trying to be a playful game of cat and mouse between the two. The short ends with the pacifier wedging itself in the baby's mobile. One of the mom, only for the mom to lift the baby up upon her return so that they can reach out and grab the pacifier and drop it back into their mouth. The short then fades to black and is replaced by Nintendo's splash screen. But other than it being posted by Nintendo's social channels, it's unclear how the animation is related to Nintendo at all. Dude, do you think Nintendo might be trying to branch out and do animation shorts? Try to take over Pixar style
Imagine.
stuff? Because it's
Imagine.
looking very Pixar.
Maybe. Possible.
That, totally possible. Oh, Discord be spiking, brother. All right. What are they trying to tell us? What are you trying to tell us, Nintendo? So, when watching it for the first time, my initial thought, this is, by the way, an opinion piece article from Josh Colson, so I'll speak in his first person point of view. When watching it for the first time, my initial thoughts was that this is some sort of side project worked on by both Nintendo and Illumination. The two studios worked together on the Super Mario Bros. Movie and have the Super Mario Galaxy movie hitting theaters in 2026. Perhaps this is a short similar to the mini movies Pixar used to make that would be shown before their feature films in the late 90s and early 2000s. I miss those days, brother.
True.
Those little shorts. That's how Ice Age with the little squirrel started.
Oh yeah.
The squirrel nut. Yeah, that was a little short, and then they put him into the Ice Age movie. All right, so while it's entirely possible that's exactly what this is, it certainly gives off that vibe. It's odd that there doesn't appear to be a single reference to anything from their studio throughout the entire short, which again is almost 4 minutes long. No Mario toys, Kirby plushies, and not a single minion in sight. There's not even any indication of when we might be told about this weird new project. You know what? Weird is an unfair descriptor. The short itself is anything but weird. It's adorable and incredibly well made. It's the nature with which it has been revealed to the world that's the weird part. Just dropped on social media on a random Tuesday with nothing more than its name. Even that is just an assumption. That could just be a caption. Other than that, I'm guessing this could be a teaser for Mario Galaxy movie in some way, but again, I have no idea how. Perhaps we've just been shown baby Rosalina. That would certainly explain why the baby doesn't own any Nintendo merch. If you have any theories as to what this all means, please share them, no matter how wild. Knowing Nintendo, the wilder they are, the more accurate they'll be. So, cover this from the gamer Josh Colson. We have never covered them before, so this is an interesting take. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I shared the article. I think it is. I mean, it would make sense if they're working with their animated studio to try and branch out and make more things that may not necessarily be like Super Nintendo brand focused. You know. So I think that's probably what this is. He's not. Josh ain't wrong though. This is a weird way of kind of launching that, showing that. Just kind of randomly posting it. It's yeah, definitely leave some head scratches, but I think it would make the most sense. It's kind of like, you know, the start of like we want to make stuff, make animated series and whatnot. It's not necessarily tied to Nintendo itself.
I have news of what it actually is.
Oh shoot.
I've done a little bit of research. Nintendo reveals the mystery of Close to You, the animation. It's actually Pikmin. Polygon is reporting Michael McWhorter posted that is actually as perplexed as people are. There were many that theorized it is related to Pikmin. Nintendo released an updated version of Close to You Short, but instead of invisible beings manipulating the rattle and blocks in a child's nursery, dozens of Pikmin are visibly shown to be responsible for the minor chaos. Red, yellow, and blue Pikmin are shown running around the room, moving things to and fro, and battling over the baby's pacifier. Interesting. So
Pikmin.
they did a little bit of a mix of like what's it kind of called? Monsters Inc., where like only the monsters are seen by the babies and the kids. It's kind of like
It's like a
that.
perspective.
Yeah, it's a perspective issue. So it's like the first time you saw it was the perspective of the parents, and you can't actually see what's going on. And then now
The
you see the
kid sees the
perspective from the
Pikmin.
kid, and the kid can see the Pikmin. I like that idea. I think that's really
Okay.
interesting,
That
and
is
it adds like
interesting.
an extra element to fantasy that I don't think I've seen in a long time.
I
Yeah,
like this. Okay.
I think that's cool. Really do.
Yeah, actually, it's really cool. Dang. Okay, yeah, that definitely changes things. I'll be interested to see what if it's a Pikmin movie. Hey, man, I'm going to see it. Kidding me?
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Are you kidding me?
I think this is gonna be the future of Nintendo, man, because they have yet to flop on one of their movies. They've been hitting. So if they keep that momentum going, I honestly think that this could kind of turn the Nintendo like brand around a little bit. They've been taking a lot of dinks in terms of all their lawsuits that they've been doing. They're anti-competitive like esports section, super against like copyrights and everything like that, piracy in particular, modders or like old content. So if they can start busting out some like really cool animations, yeah, I might look the other way when they start suing little Jimmy because he rips some stuff off. Dolphins emulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling, man?
Nah, man, I like it. I think it's interesting. Yeah, more animated stuff is always great, especially for Nintendo when they've had a role um, going on here. So, yeah, no, I'm excited for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Pretty sick. Hey, look at that. We're basically at the hour mark. Pretty good timing there. Try to always keep it down to about an hour. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I have yet to eat dinner. Have you?
I had some earlier, but I'm actually hungry. So I'm gonna get something else after this.
Heck yeah, dude.
So,
Let's go. Let's go feed ourselves. Let's remind the people. If you still stuck around, we absolutely appreciate you, of course. We have links in the description below, including timestamps for any of the articles that you guys want to come back to. And that's really it. Outside of that, social media stuff, if you want to check us out, if you can, subscribe, comment, like, tell us what you think. And we appreciate you. I'm Michael Anthony. That's KyleHeath. And we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later. Take it easy and hopefully play Battlefield 6 and let us know how it is.
true.
Peace out.
Play games.
Go Canes, by the way.
Okay.
Go Canes. Please be good.